All right, we are live. So welcome everybody, even though nobody's there yet.
Oh, I better switch over to my comments too, or I'll have a problem. There we go.
So as usual, we're doing our thing and just waiting.
I'm going to do some sharing while we're waiting.
Great, nobody's showing up. We have 0 people.
It's just us.
I didn't know we were that repulsive that we don't get anybody to watch our show anymore. There's Jan. Good morning, Jan. We're worried that nobody was going to show up.
It's going to take a while to get used to this time. Hi, Wayne. I think.
Yeah, 11 a.m. I've had some coffee.
Well, not for me, but I think for viewers, because usually we come on in the evening.
Yeah. Yep.
So it might take a minute.
Well, thank you, Jan. Hello, Tammy. Good morning.
Good morning, Tammy.
So we are streaming live to both Jan and I's page plus Things Network. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you to Jeremy for being brave enough to let us broadcast to his page.
Right. There's Bridget. Hi, Laura.
So we're just giving it a few minutes to let people jump on before we jump in, but I don't mind chatting with everybody who's here so far. Just see what's going on this morning.
And so while we're waiting, did anybody get a chance to see the eclipse the other night? Did you get to see it, Michael?
I did. I remembered right before going to sleep. I was like, wait a minute, tonight's an eclipse.
Yeah.
So yeah, looked at it for 5 minutes and go, yep, that's an eclipse. Going to bed.
No, come on. Did you see it red though? It was beautiful.
Yeah. That's when I saw it. That's when we.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good morning, everybody.
Diane, there's Neva.
Hello, Neva. Thank you for joining us. We'll get started here shortly. I got to show my mug because everybody would definitely agree with that, right? I have to wait. I gotta change that to ducking. I'm a ray of ducking sunshine.
Hi, Vicki. Hi, Bethany. There's Curtis.
Hope everybody's well this morning. Hi, Carrie.
So we could probably start while we're waiting to talk about one of our topics. So one thing that I wanted to talk about was signs. There's a lot of people that ask me about getting signs from their loved ones.
Yep.
And I feel like the majority of people are getting signs. Maybe they're just not recognizing them because signs can be very subtle, but that doesn't mean that it's not from spirit. It's not always some bam, like in your face kind of thing. Sometimes it's very subtle. Sometimes it's a thought. Sometimes it's something that seems very random, but catches your attention. So pay attention to those because those little things are definite signs. But I feel, again, like people miss them because they're looking for something huge. I'll tell you something. I've never seen a cardinal in my life, ever. And I think there's parts of the country where there are not cardinals, correct?
I'm not.
And so if you're not seeing a cardinal, I mean, what I'm saying is if you're not seeing a cardinal, which is kind of viewed as the ultimate sign in a way, if you're not seeing a cardinal, that doesn't mean that your loved one is not coming to visit. So I guess that's the point that I wanted to get across.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're definitely subtle. And we've said this before that I think, thanks to TV over dramatizes everything. So I think, and I was in that same boat before all this started happening for me, but I think people expect to wake up and have that experience where they're loved one or friend or whatever standing at the foot of their bed to say hello. And my opinion on that is I believe those people that have those experiences, there's a reason why they're having it. I think they're maybe skeptical. They're so far down in grief that their person on the other side knows they need something like dramatic for them to understand that, hey, I'm okay. Um, I mean, I haven't thoroughly researched this, but I think those experiences are very rare.
I think they are too. I
Most
think
of
they are
them,
too.
yeah, most of them are the thought, you know, the song being played on the radio, the light flickering, you know, the finding of objects. It was weird, you know. We talked a little bit about, you know, we've had water in our basement. Well, I had pulled up one of the tiles. We have these exercise tiles, you know, they go on the floor, just those spongy little things. So I picked one up the other day to clean up, and there's a dime sitting right there in the middle of it on the floor. I know that dime wasn't there when I put those things down. So there you go again, you know.
Right.
I'm sure it's.
And I think things like that we try to rationalize away. I think that's just normal, right? We all of a sudden start wondering, where'd this come from? Did it, instead of just accepting that there it is and that you know that it wasn't there previously. But Tammy said she is writing a book about this exact subject. Is that what she said?
I'll have to go back. The comments are going by so fast. Yes.
I can't wait. So yeah, Tammy, let me know when that's done, because I would love to see that. And then somebody, Tina Gobin, how do you know what your sign is? So here's the thing that in my experience about that is that it's not, sometimes it's not just one thing. Signs can come in various ways. But what it is, it's like a subtle shift in your awareness. It's sometimes so subtle. It's just, maybe you see something and suddenly your loved one comes into your head and you're thinking of them and you're thinking they would have loved this, or it reminds you of them in some way. That in itself is a sign. It's just a very subtle shift and a very subtle knowing.
Yes.
That's, sometimes they can be repetitive. I mean, sometimes there is one single sign that is repetitive. And just in the repetitiveness of it, you will come to learn what it is.
Yes. And here's something also to keep in mind. When you see something that just stands out, pay attention to the thought that immediately follows that experience. Don't dismiss it, because usually what's followed by that light flickering is someone pops into your mind. You know, for instance, my sister. You know, I see a light flicker, and it's just a random example that if I see something happen that catches my attention, and all of a sudden I think of my sister, that was my sister playing with the light. But again, the human mind wants to push that aside and say, no, coincidence, whatever. But don't miss out on those opportunities to receive a sign, because that's exactly how that happens. Yeah. Energy is pretty crazy this morning.
It is. So Carrie is saying you can also ask for very specific things and wait for it to happen. I did this with blue jay feathers, specifically at my front and back doors. And that's very true. You can ask for a sign. And sometimes you can ask for a specific sign and then you will see it. But bear in mind that sometimes that it doesn't happen instantaneously.
Right.
That's the other thing. You can ask for a sign and you may have to wait for a while for that. So don't get discouraged, I guess is what I want to say about your loved ones and signs, because I can assure you I have done, and I know Michael has as well, so many readings, so many, and there are always signs and they always come in different ways. Like really, Michael has some funny experiences about some signs. Sometimes I will see something like an area in somebody's yard and I can actually tell them, watch that area. And I don't know, maybe it's going to be a flower that blooms, maybe it's something, but it'll be in that area. And 99% of the time, they come back to me and say, oh my gosh, Jen, here it is right there. So it's just things that sometimes we are overlooking. We're just not paying close enough attention.
Yep, but they are definitely there. I mean, it took my one brother, you know, after he passed, I kept saying, you know, let me know you're here. Let me know you're around. Give me something. It took that SOB 3 freaking years before he finally showed up one day. I'm like, dude, what the hell took you so damn long?
Yeah. So I just see a comment from Jan here, and she says they're broadcasting to a few areas and they have to switch back and forth. So what I want to say right here is, if you are watching this from my private group, your comments are not going to be seen. because the group is private, it won't allow them to come out. So you need to pop over to the things page. You need to pop over to my public page. And that way you'll be able to, or Michael's page, it doesn't matter, but somewhere that is not in a public group. So if you're, or a private group. So actually, if any of you are watching this in a private group and it didn't kick you over to one of those pages, that's why we're not seeing your comments.
Yep. And we are, we're broadcasting the 3 pages and we're using StreamYard. So we get to see all the comments on our dashboard. So we're seeing everybody's comments, but if you're on one of them, you may not see other people's comments, for instance. So I know that confuses people. And good morning, Jeremy. Yes, we're finally here. Thank you. You weren't on when we first jumped on, and I wanted to say thank you for not only inviting us to be here, but also being brave enough to have us here.
To let us, right. He's watched us. He knows.
We promise to behave most of the time, but we'll see. We haven't pulled out the rebel card yet.
No. So Michael just made a mention of the energy being kind of crazy and being kind of high. It's been that way for me since I woke up this morning. Like out of control.
I was lazy. I didn't get up till a little after 9. And it took me forever to wake up. And then I sat down. I'm like, all right, I think I'm good.
Well, thank you, Neva.
The best show in town. Depends on the town. Is it a town of only 3 people?
Yeah, you're right, Bridget. All of those different things. And it's funny that you would say creepy crawly things, because I actually just sat down and hand wrote somebody a letter yesterday. I'm going to mail it to them, but it is about creepy crawly things as a sign. So that was just interesting to see that, because that's something I've never seen before. But I actually had to sit down and handwrite a letter, and I'm going to mail it old school way. Why, I don't know, but that was what was in my mind to do. So
wait, people actually write a letter?
I know,
with pen and paper?
I know. And as I was writing it, that's exactly what was said to me. What are you doing? Do people do that anymore? And I said, for some reason, this has to be in a letter form.
My problem is, when I grab a pen and paper, it doesn't have spell check. So my spelling is atrocious along with my grammar. So if nothing's there to correct, it'll be like, did a 3rd grader just mail me something? Because it's,
Yeah, Jan, there's something really cool, I think, about letters. I don't get enough of them. I don't send enough of them. So I'm going to try to be a little bit better about that. It's too easy now, right? Because we just send it on Messenger or we text or whatever. So I actually sat down and wrote it. Oh, that's not, Kathy, I know you do, because you've sent me some mail. I had to probably send one back to you. See, I'm terrible about it.
I think I actually saw a pen that actually has like a grammar check and spell check in it.
Oh, really?
Now that I think about it, because Neva had said she likes the pen. I got one of these. I have to have it color coded when I was taking notes on something I was doing. But there's
I used
this
to
pen.
ask for those for Christmas. Isn't that funny?
They had those big ones. They had like, I don't know how many different colors. It was like crazy. It was like the size of, I don't even know what. It's crazy.
So
I'm distracted. Hello,
I'm getting distracted too. I know there was something else we were going to talk about really quick.
What was it? Signs and when to get a reading. When to get a reading.
Yes.
But we could do that later, or do you want to jump into something now?
Maybe we should do that later. Or do you feel the energy starting to pick up?
Yeah, I was getting dizzy. I was getting dizzy earlier, so
okay.
I'm thinking
so nice. So I feel like we should skip that topic and maybe like get right into doing some readings. So hi Marie.
Hey everybody. Hey, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in there. If you can be specific, the more specific the question, the easier it is for us to kind of just hone in on that specific topic. It helps when it's not a yes or no, open or closed end question too, because something I recently learned, I took a class finally on cards. So my friend Debbie Squazzaro, who is an amazing medium too, she taught a oracle card reading workshop. And I never even thought of that, because I would do it for myself. I would ask yes or no questions, pull a card, and get something, go, what the hell does that mean? But it's actually the way to phrase the questions, like, what does the energy around this situation mean for me, for instance, those type things, and then pull a card, and it actually opens it up to where you can interpret something. So I was like, wow, that was pretty cool.
Speaking of that, can you pin Tanya's comment? Do you see it? Before it goes away. It says, Michael and Jen, I need to know if my house is making us sick, or is my anxiety just messing with me? Okay, so here's what I feel, Redway, with that. I do feel like there's something that you need to get checked. Mold comes to my brain for some reason. So I want to tell you that. And then I think that the anxiety about something being wrong with your house is triggering more anxiety. And so what I feel like is happening there, I'm feeling some like what will happen with that energy is I feel like it might be making you a little bit lethargic. It might be making you, I feel like your mind is going in a whole bunch of different directions that can be associated with anxiety. So what happens when we bring that energy into our home, or our home's giving off that energy? It becomes kind of this vicious cycle. And so I want to just have you clear your home. And when I say clear your home, I'm not talking about spirit energy or entities, right? I'm just talking about the energy in the home. I feel like you need to open the windows a little bit, open some curtains, move the energy in your home a little bit. If you need to move some objects, because what I feel is a little bit clustered when I think about the energy of your home. And again, I also feel something in one of the walls. And so I would like you to get that checked out. I mean, I just feel like that's important for you to do. If you haven't done that already, I feel something going on there. So yeah, Tommy, it does. It becomes a vicious cycle, because then we have this energy here that's not the best energy, and that's what it continues to attract. And when it can't move out, it just continues like to grow. So I kind of feel that going on in your home a little bit. So again, I would just encourage you to do some energetic things to cleanse it, to start moving that energy and move it out, and also have a professional come in and check and make sure there's not mold, because I'm really feeling that for some reason. So that's what I have
Tanya,
for you.
I don't know. I'm also feeling, Tanya, something about high, what is it, EMF, like, what is electric signals. I'm completely at a loss of words right now, but I think it's EMF, like high electromagnetic field. I think it is, when you have too many electronics. There's something with that too that I know can affect people. So that's what's coming to my mind too. So if you can have that checked too, I know that can mess with people.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like this congested, chaotic energy. That's what I feel about it.
Yeah. So. Charlie. Hello, Charlie. I'm going to pin this. Read your comment. Yes. Let me read it again, because I was having some thoughts as soon as I saw this. Charlie, let me just share this with you, because I've gone through this same thing, oh my God, over and over and over and over. It seems like whenever this happens to me, it's a time for me to just sit back a minute and just let things happen. It's like almost like a pause to get you prepared for the next thing. Because I think when this certain situation happens, we start to get anxious, like, what's going on? My God, when I get around energy, I start to stutter. I can't talk.
I know.
Wow.
Lose the words.
So let me try to use my mouth and words a little bit better. So again, when you get in that stuck period, I think it's just a time to reflect, just relax. It seems like, again, for me, it was like spirit intervention, just to have me take a step back, reevaluate what's going on, reflecting on what's happened already. I'm just feeling into this, but I think I'm feeling like actually middle of June to July is when things are going to start moving forward for you again. So don't get too terrified about this little pause. I'm just seeing if there's anything else.
I had this exact question not too long ago, Charlie, and I sat with my spirit guides and I asked them what was going on. And I sat down with a pen and I shared this with Michael, because what I wrote resonated with me. It may not with everybody, but it did for me. But what was written to me, like, rest is critical, and it is it's the way we rebuild. So if we look at our muscles, and like a bodybuilder, the actual work is tearing it down. And so we have to have that rest phase. We have to have that slow phase. That's where the growth happens. And then we hop back in there. But the growth actually happens in the rest phase, even though it doesn't feel like it, because we sometimes feel like we're not doing anything and that we're stagnant. Sometimes we're just growing right there. We're repairing and we're growing, and we have to give ourselves time to do that, or we continue to tear down and tear down and tear down. Mm-hmm. That's a hard one for me. I don't like resting.
No, and I got to share this. I got to share this because, I mean, many of you know I finally made the decision to leave my job again. So it was probably about a month ago I put my resignation letter in, right? Ever since then, the booking stopped. And after a month, I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, why is nobody booking any sessions, right? And immediately, and here we go with the signs, you know, from Spirit that we often miss. As soon as I had that thought about what is going on, why aren't people booking, I immediately felt this. Take this time to just enjoy the break, because it's almost like a transition between what I'm doing now and going into what I'm going to be doing, you know, full time. So it's kind of like they were telling me, just enjoy this because it's going to start picking up again. So be ready to go. Just enjoy this break. And sure enough, like within the last 4 days, I had 3 bookings, like almost back to back to back. And one of them, I don't know, did I tell you about this, Jen? I had a booking yesterday, and it was the weirdest thing because I got a booking Sunday afternoon. I got a notification that there was a booking for Monday. I'm like, Monday, Tuesday are my days off. I don't normally book I don't have my calendar open. So I went into panic mode going, what the hell's going on? I look at my calendar, both Monday and Tuesday are wide open. I'm like, I was just in there literally 2 days ago and that was blocked off. So my next thought is I better make sure there's no conflicts. There was none. And then, so I was like, okay, this reading was meant to be. And it was, I mean, it's a long story, but it was just one of those things like, okay, it's starting to pick up again. So I just feel that movement forward. Charlie, I don't know if that resonates with you, but I just felt like I just needed to tell you, one, just relax. It's okay when we have these brief pauses. I'm so long-winded sometimes. I know. Can't help it.
Thank you, Casey. I want to jump into the spirit reading for a minute because I do feel. Is that okay, Michael?
No. It's not.
Sorry, my announcement.
Your spidey sense is tingling.
Yeah, that's what happens here. So I feel a male around me. I feel that he is younger. I don't feel that not like teenager, but maybe 20s, 30s. He's tall and he has dark hair. I also feel an accident with him. Hang on just a sec. Let's see if anybody can anybody connect with this? I do feel like okay, no accident. I do feel like that this is an accident, Vicky. And for some reason, like industrial is coming to me. There's something industrial involved in this. No, Jeremy, it's not you. This is somebody that has passed, although that's real funny that you put that because you did kind of just pop into my brain a little. I thought like, this sounds like Jeremy. But I do feel, so Charlie, you could take this. Let me try to go a little bit further with it because I see Charlie saying yes. I see Terry's asking about her dad. Here's what I feel. I don't feel that this is I don't feel this is a father figure. I feel this is somebody that's looking for more of friend, cousin, girlfriend, along those lines. What do you call that, Michael? A contemporary?
Yes. Contemporary, somewhere around the same age.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Yes, it was an accident, but not industrial. Was there anything industrial involved with it at all, Joshua? Industrial, I don't feel, Katie, I'm not feeling like that fits. Joshua, I'm kind of drawn to you. Can you tell me, industrial, was his profession industrial? There's something industrial here. Okay, no. All right. Boy.
I'm trying to tune into, and I'm not.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Tune into him. So when I say industrial, there's a pole here. I'm seeing a pole. I'm gonna throw that out there. Maybe my cousin, he was in a construction site when he had an incident prior to good passing. Okay. Or good. So do the rest of those things fit with you, Laura? The age, he's taller, he has dark hair. Also, now I got to tell you, I can see. Oh, let's see. Okay, Laura. Hang on, just a second. I want to see if I can get something a little bit more specific. Is this a cousin on your father's side? Because all of a sudden I'm hearing father. Can you validate that for me? Okay, so his age fits his yes, okay. So I do believe that this is your cousin because all of a sudden I just hear father's side. I want to ask you a question. Is your father passed as well? Because he's really bringing up father, or is his father passed? Sorry, I'm just going to wait a second for Lara. Mm-hmm. We should try the phone thing next time, Michael.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they're both alive? Okay, so I don't know why the connection to the father, and that may just be a way to validate who he is. Hang on just 1 second.
I don't know. Is there a Bill or William attached to this in any way? I keep hearing Bill or William. I just had to throw it out there.
Okay, your grandfather passed. That could be why. I'm really strongly feeling this on your father's side. Yeah, I can see your comments, Brittany. Got a lot going on. Okay, let me tune back into him for just a second. For some reason, he's showing me the number 6. I don't know what the number 6 means. I asked for numbers today before I hopped on, but maybe I wasn't clear enough about, I need the number, but I also want to have clarity on what the number means. I'm feeling the number 6. I don't know if that's attached to a month. I don't know if that's attached to a day. I'm not sure what that 6 is about. But I am feeling a 6 from him. Let's see. I've got to go back and find Laura here. See if there's any comments.
Let's see.
Did she comment on that at all?
The last one I seen, but our grandfather's passed.
Okay. All right. I don't know what the number 6 is, but I'm just going to push it off to the side and I'm going to move forward and maybe we'll know what that is and maybe we won't. I got to tell you that I'm not getting a super clear message from him, really. What I'm seeing is some running water, and I feel the word flow with me. So I don't know what's going on. But I feel like he's just saying that you need to flow with some things. There's something happening. There's some push. There's something going on where he's saying, like, just flow through this, and this is going to be okay. But there's going to be a time where you're going to kind of resist a little bit, is what I feel like, or somebody is, and we just kind of have to flow with what's going on. So that's what I'm hearing for you from him. And also, yeah, I'm unsure about the 6 too, Laura. So I'm just going to leave that with you. And I know that was kind of vague, which is interesting. He popped right in. Okay, but I don't know. Anyway, we're just going to leave that.
It's how it goes sometimes.
It's kind of scattered. Like, I feel there's so much energy around that just kind of honing in on one is difficult.
I'm kind of going to go back through the comments. And
You're welcome, Laura.
Deanna, I just want to acknowledge that I saw your comment here.
Oh, Laura, thank you. Yep. Okay, his sister's birthday was yesterday, May 16th. Maybe that's where I'm seeing the 6th, and that's an important day. Do me a favor, if she's open, please pass along the happy birthday from him. I have chills right now, like as soon as I saw that. So, yes, please pass that along if she's open.
All righty. All right. Do you guys have comments or questions or want guidance? I actually prefer if you have an actual like comment, like a question, like guidance specific. It's fine if you just put I'm open, but again, to save time, it just helps if we have something more specific to go with, that we can just tune into that question and get a feeling from it.
Yeah, we can just go right to that, and it's a quicker way. So yeah, throw up a question if anybody has a question.
Because I think today is more about guidance than it is about connecting. I don't know, for some reason I just have this feeling that it's just about giving guidance and answering questions.
So let me.
I'm going to pin Deanna's real quick. I'm looking for guidance in my career path going forward and hoping to expand into the metaphysical. Let me just. I just get this feeling, Deanna, that if you haven't already put yourself out there, it's like time to do that. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not picking up exactly what you're into, like your specialty. I'm really tuning in or feeling like energy work, like healing, that type of path. I don't know if that's what you do, but that's what I'm being drawn to talk about. I just get this feeling like you're holding yourself back for some reason. Reiki, yes. Okay. I just feel like you have to expand outside of this circle of comfort, if that makes sense for you. A lot of us get stuck in that space of just, okay, I'll do this for people that I know. But really, to really expand not only your clientele, but your abilities, you have to put yourself out there and be okay with being uncomfortable. Because that's when you really learn about your craft. You really do. You need that various feedback from people. So I would advise just to start really pushing yourself out there. And I think once you do that, it's like, I feel like you're going to surprise yourself. So that would be my best advice. Yep. Deanna, we all do. Confidence. I mean, I've been doing this, coming up on 7 years. I still get terrified before every reading. I mean, because really we're dealing with the unknown, right? Yeah. It's you just do this hoping that, for me channeling spirit, that someone's going to show up. And I should know by now, because every time I do a reading, somebody shows up, right? So again, I understand that being uncomfortable. I understand the confidence. I think it's a constant struggle, but you just got to be okay and accept that that's just the way it's going to be and just keep pushing forward. I've gotten to be okay with that uncomfortable feeling. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, there's always that uncomfortable feeling. Kenda, should I move forward with the new financial adventure that has laid before me? Here's what I want to tell you that I feel about that. Absolutely. However, I want to tell you that I am feeling like proceed with caution. Don't throw everything to it. Make sure that you, I guess what I'm hearing is like, don't throw it. I'm just going to go with that. Don't throw everything into it. You've got to keep something aside. But I am hearing like, yeah, go forward, go in with some caution and go a little bit slower. And then you'll know to go in all the way, but don't do it right off.
Hey, Hannah. Hey, are you working today? Because we're planning on stopping by the shop later this afternoon. I can definitely chat with you about that later. I'm getting a good feeling. I think I told you yes when dropping cards. I don't know, Hannah, maybe this is for you. I'm seeing spiritual. I was just grabbed my cards and this one popped off or popped out as I was talking to you. So I just take that as a sign of yes. So yeah, we'll definitely be in later. So, but I feel very positive that you will. You will. All righty.
So I saw a comment. Now I've lost it because they're just kind of flying by. I believe it was Jacqueline had asked something about somebody living with them, and if you were going to have the strength to like keep going through that. I think is what I read. But I do want to tell you that the first thing that popped into my head when I read that for you was boundaries. I feel like there needs to be some boundaries set. And I also feel like possibly there has been, but they are continuing to kind of get pushed. You got to set those boundaries and you got to hold firm. And I'm going to leave that with you. And yes, that I do feel like this is going to be a while. This arrangement is going to be a while. And so boundaries are going to be critical.
Jeremy, I'm reading your comment right now. I'm going to pin this because I don't want it to go flying by. As soon as I read it, Jeremy, what I feel is, yes, just slow and steady, because one, you're still recovering, which is taking a lot of energy to get through that. So I just feel to avoid burning yourself out completely. Because I mean, right now you're a majority of your energy and attention needs to be on your recovery. So I would just let things like smolder for right now, as far as your network and other projects. Don't get stressed out, because I mean, I don't see this like stopping in any way anytime soon. I definitely see momentum going forward with it. I think you have so much support behind you for not only the network, but support for your healing. I would not stress out about this. But yeah, I would just slow and steady is what I'm feeling around that. Just stay comfortable with that. Like I said, it's not going to stop. I see momentum going forward. But right now, it's just your health comes first.
You're welcome, Jacqueline. Okay, let's see.
Joni, should I pursue retirement now or stay where I am? I wish I could give you like an absolute, because that's the same question I've been pondering for 3 years. I'll say this, I'm fortunate to have many friends that are mediums that would always give me advice, a feeling of it's coming. You'll know the signs, right? We're all like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Another freaking sign waiting away,
I think I just sent you a sign the other day.
But, oh God. with that, I can honestly say that when this time came for me, I actually felt it. And I think I shared this once before, but I'll talk about it again really quick. I was watching Tyler Henry's series on Netflix, and during one of the episodes, I just had this overwhelming feeling of you need to you need to be doing this work. Spirit didn't say you need to be doing it now. They didn't say you're going to be doing it in June. They just said you need to be doing this work. But what I felt was that confirmation that it was time. It was time to let go of the past, like my career, and it was time for me to take that step and move forward. And it's hard to put in words, but again, everybody told me you'll know, you'll feel it, you'll know. And again, I was like, yeah. I've heard this before. But this time it's like I actually felt it in the core of my soul. It was like, this is the time. So you're the only one that's going to be able to answer that question for yourself. And I'm trying to get I'm trying to get a feeling on it for you. All I get for you is just like, ask yourself that question, but instead of trying to get the answer in your mind, focus on your gut. What does your gut say? What is the feeling that you get around that question? It won't lie to you. But that's what I have to say about that.
Tina, 6 to 8 months comes to mind for me. Before everything is completely wrapped up and the completion of that move, 6 to 8 months, for whatever reason, just pops right into me when I read that. We all do, Joni.
What'd you say? I hate being responsible for. Yeah, right. I've said this over and over. Spirit's not gonna lead you by the hand and say, okay, it's time. That's not their job. It's frustrating, believe me. But it's not their place. We're here to take this adventure. We signed up for it, so they say.
Right.
So welcome aboard the Shit Train Express, or what is it? The Hot Mess Express?
Yes.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, the Hot Mess Express.
All aboard the Hot Mess Express.
That's what we should have named the show.
I think we talked about that.
We did. You're welcome, Tina.
Hello, Wendy. Wendy, I'm sure you heard I'm leaving my job. I might actually have time to participate every now and then with you guys. If you'll have me back. It's been Wendy heads up a local investigation team here in North Dakota. And a few years ago, they invited me to join a team, and I had the chance to do a couple investigations with them. And then just because of my work schedule, it's been freaking chaos with this job and trying to do this on the side. So it's like, I might actually have time now for things.
So Kathy is asking, do either of you see any employment in my near future? I'm gonna be honest with you, Kathy. No, I don't. I don't see full-time employment. How's that? What I see with you is more of I see more of a volunteer role. Like, I feel you're going to have something to do that's going to have purpose. But it's not going to be full time. It may not make a ton of money, but it's going to make you happy. That's what I'm feeling like. But as far as full-time employment, no, I can say that because I do know you a little bit. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I don't see that. I do see employment, but maybe not in the traditional sense. How's that? And I also feel part-time. You've been considering volunteering? Do it, Kathy, because I think you would be great at it. And yeah, so that's the thing. I don't feel it's necessarily financial for you. I feel like it's something to do that's going to be fulfilling and that's going to give you some purpose and get out to meet people. So perfect. Yeah, keep looking.
And Wendy, I think you had a comment too or a question before I went on my rant, not rant, but tangent. I think you asked about anything moving forward. Um, Wendy, could you type that in again? I'm trying to scroll back, but there's so many comments. So Wendy, I know we've talked about this before, but I think you need to really consider opening up, opening. God, I can't talk this morning. Opening up to mediumship. There's something there, and this seems familiar. I think we've talked about this before, but Wendy does Reiki also. Again, it's up to you, but I just feel like having more confidence because you do get messages. I've been around you. I know that. I think also that you need to just sit back and reflect on what out of everything you do, what's your passion? Like what stands out number one, of what you enjoy doing, and kind of focus on that first and just let everything else fall into place. The other thing that comes up, are you thinking of moving your business? Like, are you thinking of moving into a different building? There's something about a move. So I don't know if that's even a consideration, but I just see a new space for you, a new space. But yeah, Wendy, I would just do that. That would be my advice, just to kind of, list out what you do and just go with first what your passion is, and then go from there. And we could talk later. Downsizing and revamping. I think that's everybody today. Getting rid of the junk and just focusing on, what we really want.
Cami Joe, she asked a question about a timeline for buying a home. I got to tell you, it's probably not what you want to hear, but I do hear 2 to 3 years. Because you're absolutely right. Number one, that the housing market is super, super crazy right now. But I also, I don't know, I'm feeling 2 years at a minimum. So keep working towards it, because it is going to happen, but it is going to take a while.
Let's see.
Keep having dreams. Rhonda, so dreams are really, really hard because dreams are super personal. And so without a whole lot of more information, which we don't really want to go into in this live, I can't really help you understand them. But the best thing that I can tell you is, when we have dreams like that, is to break them down into little pieces, break them down into symbolism, because things in dreams are not always literal. There's generally something symbolic behind them. So break them down into what they mean to you, break it down into chunks, and the meaning will come to you. They're so personal that it's really hard for somebody else to jump in and give you an understanding of your dream. But that's the very best way that I can tell you to figure that out, is to break it down and look at what it symbolizes and what each part means to you.
Mm-hmm. I know I often wake up from my dreams, the ones I remember, and go, what in the bloody hell was that about?
And some I don't even worry about, because I'm like, I probably don't even want to know what that meant.
That's most of mine. I'm like, I don't want to really know, because
I'm just going to move forward with my day.
Oh my God. I've had some doozies. Like a few months ago, there happened, like I never remember my dreams. And there was a period about a month or so ago that I was having several throughout the week that I would actually wake up and remember and go, what actually, what the hell was that about?
Yeah.
I mean, they were crazy.
Oh, Dawn, that's such a hard one. how can I, or what do I need to work on to overcome my not trusting myself and giving others messages? My answer is start giving others messages.
Oh, I got to
That's
pin
the
this.
best way. That really is the best way to start trusting yourself, is that you have to have that validation coming back. So reach out. Just reach out, start reaching out to people and asking their permission. Can I try this? And see what happens. Because really, until you do that, it's so hard to know. And I understand, like, that reaching out to do that is incredibly nerve-wracking. And as Michael was talking earlier, it's incredibly nerve-wracking every time we go to do a reading. So that trust, boy, it's just something that it's something that I can't really explain. But the best way to get it is to jump in and start getting the validation back. At least in my opinion. I don't know. What about you, Michael?
So Dawn, what I did, like, early on, I mean, literally, like, within a month or two of just all this craziness happening for me, is I started a Facebook group, and it was a closed group, and my intention was just to do readings. So with that, one, it's a closed group that you have control of, right? You can only let in, you have control of who's actually in the group. But with that intention, people are there for that purpose, to help you, right? So it's a safe environment for you to start doing that, doing readings for other people, not necessarily strangers, but people that you've never read for. And for me, that really helped, because like Jen said, it's great to be in classes, you're in these classes, these small groups of other people, and you get comfortable reading each other, but that only lasts for so long. But you have to start stretching yourself, and you have to be comfortable with getting no's and people saying that doesn't make sense, because what that forces you to do is to not just let it go, saying, okay, it doesn't make sense, I'm going to move on. It forces you to stay in that moment and go, okay, let me figure out what this means. So to me, I always tell my clients, no's are more important than the yeses. Mm-hmm. I want people to be brutally honest with me, because if they tell me no, that just gives me the opportunity to go back and say, okay, did I misinterpret? Because most of the time, that's what it is. You got to remember, we're taking energy and translating it into physical language. And with any translation, you're going to have, inaccuracy. I'm not going to say we're wrong, because I don't feel we're wrong. It's just we're misinterpreting. So by having that controversy, if you will, it just teaches you to understand the no's and being okay with it. I know that was probably a longer answer than you wanted, but that would be my suggestion, is to just, like Jen said, start doing reading for people that you don't know, or, do what I did. Start a small group.
That's what I did as well. That's how I started reading for people, that I didn't know all that well. Was I started a small group. I invited some friends, and then it grew. So that's actually a really good idea, because like Michael said, you do have control over content and who comes in, and it's kind of a safe little space to learn. So, tell you what, Rhonda, I don't do health things, like just straight health questions for a reason, but I'm going to tell you that I do feel like maybe there's too many irons in the fire. That's the first thing that comes to me. That something specific, and like one of those irons is draining your energy. So look at that. But as far as your health is concerned, like, always follow up with your physicians, because I'm certainly not one. But I do feel some emotional draining is adding to whatever's going on. Hi, Amy.
Oh, is that Sister Amy?
Thank you, Jessica. No, that's not my sister. I haven't seen her on this morning.
Did you make her angry?
Every time I can. Every chance I get.
Hello, Shania. Hey, I'll be stopping in later, so hopefully you have a session and you don't blame me for the person not showing up again. It's Shania works in the shop where I'm going to be having an office too soon, but it seems like she'll have an appointment scheduled. I'll come in, and during the time that I'm there, her appointment cancels or they don't show up. I'm like, I just got to stop hanging around the shop because I'm bad luck, I guess.
Hi, Rosie. Jessica, so I've seen your question come by a couple of different times. Jessica Taylor, here's what I'm going to say to you about this. This is what comes in. So sometimes we don't always get the answers that we'd like, but what I'm going to say is I think that there's been enough time in this relationship that you should have a very clear, I'm just being told that you should have a very clear idea of how he feels. And if you do not, that is an issue. So I'm going to leave that with you. And maybe I'm also feeling like possibly no answer is an answer. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there.
Well, there are two of them.
Well, there you go. I'm confused now.
I think I'm catching like bits and pieces of comments.
Me
maybe
too.
that there's more somewhere else in the chat, but I'm like, it's hard to keep track. There's so many
that's
of
what
them.
I'm thinking is I'm missing something somewhere. Let's see.
Oh, dating. Oh, there's two of them that are possibilities.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Now we got it. I thought maybe she was talking about us. Well, there's two of them.
So the comment that I saw, Jessica, was meeting a wonderful guy last summer, not sure what he really thinks. So I'm just going to leave that with you. That was pertaining to that comment.
Jessica, I'm going to throw my 2 cents in because when I feel into this question, may not be the answer you want to hear, but I just feel like this person may not be that serious. Again, if you ask, it's one of those times like you asked a question, I hope you're ready for the answer type, what I'm about to say, but I just feel that maybe there may be somebody else. I don't know. I just feel like he's kind of like there's options. You may be one of those options. That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, same kind of feeling that I had was like, they don't always tell us what we want to hear, but that's what I'm hearing. Okay, let's see. Hi, Rosie. Rosie says, as long as you're wearing pants. I'm wearing Sasquatch boxer shorts. Is that good?
Are those the ones you got when we were on our journey last summer?
Get on vacation. Yeah, I'm wearing those and my work shirt. So all I have to do is throw on the regular pants and go to work. Yes, Dawn, I do feel yes that you will.
I mean, Jessica, I just got to ask, were you getting that same feeling? Because a lot of times I tell people this, when you go to a psychic or a medium, whatever, for answers, most of the time you already know the answer, and that psychic will validate what you already know.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, is that what you suspect also?
Yeah, let's see. Oh, they're so cute, Kathy.
Okay, good. So don't, again, that gut, and I think it's important for everybody to just pay attention to that, because like Jessica just said, she had that feeling already. And I know sometimes we want confirmation from a third party because, right, it's hard to be objective. So I'm happy, you deserve better. You deserve better. There you go. Gut feeling. Yep. It will never lead you astray.
Exactly. Okay. I'm just going to scroll up and see if I missed any. Yeah. I feel like I'm not getting all the comments either. I don't know. Let's see.
And again, when we do these lives, whether it's this show or any of our other lives, it's basically a group reading. So we can only have a small amount of time to focus on, a few people during the time that we have, and they're going to be short messages, but, we both have I don't know about Jen right now, but I know I have openings. You know, I have, you can book a reading with me. I have openings from, even though they're limited for May, June, towards the end of June and in July, that's when I make the transition to doing this full time. So I do have appointments available in May and June, and there'll be more after that, you know, where we have, you know, 45 minutes to focus on just you.
So Sherry's asking a question. I think it's Sherry. Sorry, it's hard for me to see. How do I make a living? I've been laid off since COVID, 62 now, so it's really tough. So here's where you have to get creative. I feel like that there is something creative that you do, and for some reason, cooking is coming to my mind. So I don't know if there's a way that you can make a small business out of that. If there's something, can you tell me if it's cooking or baking? Can you tell me if that is right? Like, I feel there is one thing that you're super great at when it comes to that. It's kind of like a specialty, and I don't know why I'm hearing that, so I want to validate that before I...
I'm going to get to Jan's question too after you're done.
Okay. So I'm just waiting to hear. Okay, Sherry. I'm drawn to the cooking. I'm drawn to the cooking for you. Here's what I feel like I want to say. Since you're struggling right now and you're just looking for something quick, start with the cooking. I think that there's a specific dish that you can make that you can sell. And you can do this from your home. Look into being able to do that, whether it's delivering meals to people, whatever it is. I'm really feeling like the cooking is going to get you through in the short time. And then you can work on your screenwriting, which will pay off in the long run. But whatever this cooking is, it's so clear to me. Like, I can smell it. It's so clear to me. Start there. Start there for something quick that you know how to do that's going to get you instant results. That's what I'm hearing. And it's going to be with your cooking. So I'm going to leave that with you.
All right, I got to pin Jan's comment question because it's
You're welcome.
So Jan, when I connect with you and your energy, now, if memory serves, you also are a medium psychic. Have you pulled back from doing that work? Because I just feel like pulling back. But I also feel like you need to consider moving ahead. And we all go through this, but I feel just this hesitation, like you start and then you pull back. You start, then you pull back, which I completely relate with. I've been through that cycle so many times over the past few years. It's ridiculous. I've been so many times wanting to just quit. I mean, just getting frustrated to what the hell's going on. You know, I'll get all motivated to start again, and I'll start within, you know, and when I do start, within a few weeks, I'm ready to just stop again. And I think it was just, I needed to reflect and really ask, is this what I really want to do? And I actually took 3 months off where I was doing nothing because I was so frustrated. I was just like, I don't know what to do anymore. You know, why do I have these moments of just, wanting to do this? And then such a short period later, I'm like, I want to quit. But I think it was really for me to just sit back and think, do you really want to do this? And after that 3-month break, it was like, yes, I do. This is what I'm meant to do. But I feel it's like one of those moments where you just need to really sit and think with that. But I feel you need to go forward with your mediumship. I think you're holding yourself back. I think it's confidence issues that you have with your work, which, again, we all do. It's that, am I good enough? I still struggle with that. Am I good enough? You know, we have that imposter syndrome, you know, that, is this real? Am I that good? Yada, yada, yada. But I just feel that it's just a moment of clarity. You need to really think about that. Do I want to do this? But I feel, yes, I feel that you could help a lot of people.
She says Jen is going to laugh because I do. And so I was laughing. I wasn't laughing at you, Michael. I was laughing at her question because she already knows that. Her not. So yeah, I was giggling. But again, it's sometimes needing that validation.
Yeah. It's, I got to say, I've had the fortune, I've been fortunate to meet a lot of people over the last several years doing this work, and I've seen mediums come and go, and the crazy ones pursue, which I'm part of. Because honestly, anybody nuts enough to do this work, you need to be evaluated.
So
because
true.
I routinely ask myself, why do I put myself through this? But again, I think it really comes with, why are you doing this work? If you don't have a strong why, and I've hit on this before, if your why is not strong enough and genuine, you're not going to last, because we go through hell. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, it's mental, it's physical, it's exhausting work.
It's true. And for the first time in a couple of years, I actually had to reach out. Well, I reached out to Jan and I reached out to Michael because I was struggling. I was struggling with the reading I had done that was very, very vivid and very clear. And I could not, when I came back into what I call the human, and I had to I have to function as a human. I could not clear it away from me. I just was heavy and was traumatic. And so Michael actually helped me to clear that, helped me to kind of clear my energy. But yeah, it's not always easy. And we're nuts for doing it. And that's one of those times I'm like, but I do have to laugh, you guys, because I do want to tell you what Michael said in true Michael fashion. As soon as I picked up the phone, he said, "What in the hell shit did you get yourself in?" And I just giggle about that. Welcome to the life of a medium, right?
Oh my God. So yeah, yeah. Hello, Tina. How the heck are you? I've been wanting to reach out. I know it's been a while, but I know you've been busy. I've seen you were just at Lilydale. That is definitely on my bucket list. I got to check that place out. Uh-oh, my name came up in Lilydale. That cannot be good.
Were your ears ringing?
Who was talking about me in Lilydale? Hopefully not somebody I pissed off along the way. I know there's very few people that I've made upset, but
it happens. Okay, so does anybody else have any questions? They're rolling by really fast, so pop it back in again if you had one that maybe we didn't get to.
Uh-oh, we have a mutual friend. Oh boy. We'll have to talk, Tina.
I've got some cards here. They're not the Rebel deck yet, but Amy Johnson. I see Amy on here.
Amy. Hello, Amy.
I'm going to pull one of these cards here. Ooh. I think it's that one that fell on the floor. Okay. So, Amy, the music card popped up for you. I'm feeling like this. I'm feeling like this for you. Have you ever had one of those moments where you hop in the car all alone and you just crank the music up, whatever it is that just comes into your soul and lights you up? I'm feeling like that's something that would benefit you right now, is just get in the car, turn up that music, go for a drive, and let that shit go, whatever that shit is, because I can feel it. And the music card pulling up is a card that's just saying, you know what, it's time to just go for a drive, turn on the music, and I want to go do that now. You know that feeling? I just have that feeling from that. Let's see. Your chaos always. Yeah, hop in that car with some music and just go take a ride.
Chaos ensues.
Sorry, my daughter is texting me from school. 1 second.
I'm just going through comments. Let's see what else here.
You're welcome, Amy. It is, isn't it, Sheila?
Who let Sheila on the chat?
Let Sheila on.
How do we
hang on just a second.
How do we block people here? I forget. Let's see.
You're terrible. So yeah, here's what I want to say here's what I want to say. It is so messed up right now. There's so much stuff going on. Unplug. I do realize that there's a certain level of information that we need, but we don't need to submerge ourselves in it. I find myself getting in that pattern of just feeling like I need to know all of the things. But here's the thing. We're never going to know all of the things. We're not. And so stay informed to the level that you need to be informed, but do not immerse yourself in what's going on. Live your life in your little space to the best of your ability. And I feel like then the outside stuff will kind of filter away. And yes, it does affect us. There's a lot of just like heartbreaking crap and bullshit going on. But that's the best that I can say. And like for anything, just we have to unplug from anything that brings us drama and chaos and that energy in. So that's what I have to say on that. I don't know. What about you, Michael?
Turn off the news. I've actually weaned myself off the news. I mean, I literally over the last month or two have just completely just stopped. Oh, there's your sister.
Yeah, she just popped on.
We were talking about you earlier, Amy. I figured that Jen pissed you off somehow because I'm like, where's Amy?
I told him every day, every chance I get. Okay. What kind of a card do you want? I'll actually let Michael pull one for you.
Who's this for? Amy?
Amy.
Amy, do you have a question?
Hi, Regina.
To go along with that, or just interesting? Well, one popped out. So this is for you, Amy. Power. Let me just feel into this a little bit. Interesting. With this card, what I'm feeling to tell you is don't compromise who you are for anybody. I feel at times like when you interact with people that you kind of pull back, if you will, about your reaction or comments because you don't want to offend. But I just feel like the need to just stand confident in your power and don't compromise. Don't compromise your beliefs or your integrity. I mean, that's just what comes to mind. It's really general, I know, but I feel this really around coworkers too. Don't compromise your integrity or what you believe in. So I'm going to leave it at that because hopefully that resonates in some way. That fits? Good. So what do we have? Another 15 minutes, I think. We're going to call it 12:30.
Okay, Shannon, let's see what we have. I'm going to tell you something that's just coming in before I pull a card for you, Shannon, is to stop questioning yourself. I don't know what's happening here. It kind of feels like it might be the theme of the day a little bit, though. Let's see what we've got. Nope, it's going to be that one. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to show you the card because it's the card that came up. But first things first, I want to tell you to stop questioning yourself. And the card that pulled up for you is sex. So I don't know what you need to let go, but get it done.
What the hell deck are you using?
It's a self-care deck, and that card never pulls. I'm telling you, it never pulls.
I got my boring psychic
mine
oracle deck.
Release some tension there, Shannon. That's what that card is telling you.
All right, Tammy, I'm going to pull a card for you, Tammy. Do you have any questions? Like anything specific you're looking for? Well, don't even bother. This just popped. This just flew right out of the deck, Tammy. Rejoice in celebration. So let me just feel into that just for a second. I don't know, Tammy, interesting. I feel like a reunion with family. I feel like something that's long overdue with like connecting with family with this card for some reason. That's what I'm drawn to. Nothing else. It may mean something different for you, but I just feel this connecting with family again, like rejoicing in celebration about just being together with family. And I know we know each other and I know a little bit about, but I just see settling of differences and reconnecting. But then again, it could mean something different for you, but that's what I'm feeling around that card. At least that's what comes to mind.
Let's see. Hi, Debbie.
Hello, Debbie.
Kelly Cook. I'm going to pull a card for you. That's going to be it. This makes me laugh. It's the read card. But I got to tell you what comes to my mind when this card pulls for you, Kelly, is those little miniature book things that you made. That's what I'm focusing on when I see this read card for some reason. Is your art, the artistic things that you're doing, keep doing those. I feel like that's really an outlet for you. It's not only art, but reading. And didn't you just put a post up the other day about looking for a book to read? Hang on there, because there's something else about that. What book are you reading? I'm curious. Hopefully she'll.
Can I throw something up real quick while you're waiting?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Debbie, if you're still on, I know you're between readings. So I was reading your comment and this card flew out at me. So positive movement forward. And I feel, well, the number 8's right there, but I feel August, like there's something pretty significant in propelling yourself forward coming to you in August.
Whatever, Kelly says a pervert book. Maybe the sex card was yours, Kelly. I don't know. Okay, so here's what I want to say to you is I feel like with that read card with you is knowledge. I don't know what book you're reading. I mean, aside from the pervert book, because I feel like you're the kind of reader that can read like more than one book. But I feel like that this is something about knowledge, but I also want to tell you something else I feel with you is write a book. So I'm going to leave that with you.
You're welcome, Deb.
Little books just keep popping in. I feel like there's a lot of, I feel like you have a lot of knowledge, and I feel a book in your future. Politician fight starts at 6 p.m. tonight over books. There you go.
There we go.
Write your own, Kelly. Oh, gotcha. Bad kid books at school. Okay.
What do you think? Pull 2 more cards and then start to
let's
wrap it up? So you pull one, I'll pull one, and then we'll kind of close it up and until next week.
Let me see what we got here. All right. I'll pull one for Robin.
Okay. And I'll pull one for Sue.
Robin, can I ask you a question just really quick? Is your mother passed? For some reason, when I pull this card, I feel mother energy around me. She's just kind of popping in to say hi, whoever this is. But I do feel like she's connected to you. Yes? Okay. So I would just want you to know that your mother's here. There's not really a whole big message with that, but I'm telling you, her presence is very, very strong with you today. I also feel like her presence is very strong with you every day. But definitely, as soon as I said your name, she just popped right in. So let's see what the card has for you.
I'm also seeing robins around her mother. There's something with robins.
I feel like her mother's hand's going to be all over this deck. So give me just a second. Okay, write a gratitude list. That's what I have for you, is to write a gratitude list. That card's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave that there with you. I feel like there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things to be grateful for, and this is a universal message as well. But sometimes we overlook those. Write those down and really feel them in your heart, because Robin, your mother was all over that. She was always grateful about things. So write a gratitude list in her honor today. That's what I feel like I want to say to you. Okay, and I'm going to leave that there.
So Sue, I pulled this card for you, a transformation card. And I don't know, for some reason, 2 things I'm feeling. One, personal transformation. But the second is something around your career or job. So I don't know if you're thinking of changing jobs. There's something about transformation, again, around career, and not only that, but your personal growth. This may seem odd, but I just feel like you're finally understanding who you are, like as a person. Sometimes it hits us later in life, like me. I still don't know, but I just feel like this is maybe confirmation about that. If that makes any sense.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Kelly. She said, "Jen, you freaked me out."
I'll go reading her book. Hello, Debbie Nicholson from England. How are you this morning? Debbie is a fantastic psychic medium. I'm trying to think, Debbie, I think it was Anthony Maraca that suggested you for a reading when I was taking his class. I was just thinking back how I think that's how we got to know each other through Anthony. Debbie has given me a lot of guidance over the last several years, and I appreciate it, Debbie, very much.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Jen is Jen. All right.
Well, what do you say, Michael? You want to wrap it up for the day?
I think it's time to wrap it up for the day. It's actually finally kind of spring here, so it's like I want to be outside.
But really quick, I did just want to say and where you guys can find me. So I have a private group, and I also have a public page. People are joining the public group, but they're not finding the private group, but they're not finding the public page. I'm going to archive the group. So if you are in the group, please look for my public page, which is the very same name, and follow me there, because that's where we'll be doing the lives and some other stuff. So I wanted to throw that out there. And then Michael, your page is Michael Christopher
Evidential Medium. I had to think about it. I'm like, what is my page?
Right. And mine's just Jennifer Lee Intuitive Medium. But yeah, just be mindful that because they both have the same name, that you are going onto the public page.
And thank you everybody for tuning in this morning for our first show back. And
yeah,
I don't know, when did we do the last one? I think it was for Pun, but it's been a while.
It's been a while, a year at least, I would think.
Yep. And again, Jeremy was nice enough to invite us back on his network, and we appreciate that. So we can continue our shenanigans in the morning. So,
all right. Have a good day.
Have a good day, everybody. We'll see you next week, Tuesday. Bye.